Okay, so we're moving on in lesson 7-2. We're on page 108. So we worked out one problem. I kind of walked through the example A here. We talked about the box. And then over here it talks about you can check your factoring. Just multiply those two binomials back together. So and you're like we did on the warm-up. Distribute and combine like terms. And you should get where you started. Okay? That's how you can check yourself. So I do want you to pause the video and try to do this one by yourself. Okay, so just to recap, to set up our box here, the quadratic term goes here, the constant term goes here, and then those two in the middle, those two diagonal, should add up to equal the middle term, the b. So basically it goes like this. The quadratic term, the constant term, and these two add up to the linear term. And so we need to figure out, we need two numbers that multiply to give us 12, and I do it like this, A, C, B, and make a chart. ACB chart is what I call it. And then our A is 1, our B is -7, and our C is 12. So A times C should find some factors that add up to our B. So 12 and -7. So this is a little tricky because it's a -7, so that means we're going to have to play around with signs a little bit. In order to multiply and get a positive number, that means that both of our numbers should be negative. So I could do -1 and -12. I could do -2 and -6. I could do -3 and -4. And then add those up. That equals -13, so it's not that one. -2 plus -6, that's going to be -8, so it's not that one. -3 plus -4 equals -7. So we're going to use -3 and -4. So x times x gives us the x squared. Okay, -3x plus -4x adds up to the -7. And so right here, what times x gives us -4x? Well, that would be -4. And then finally, what times x would give us -3x? Well, that would have to be -3. So then our answer would be x minus 4 times x minus 3. So right now these are the simple problems. You might be tempted to rush through it and just write the answer, but I want you to practice using the boxes. There's also another way that I might show y'all later, but I kind of want to stick to one method to prevent too much confusion. Okay, so now we're going to do these examples. Factor them and then check by multiplying. So my A is 1, my B is 9, my C is 14. And I actually did this in the last video. I'm looking for ACB chart. So A is 1, C is 14, B is 9. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me 14 and add up to 9. And those numbers are going to be 2 times 7 and then 2 plus 7. So in our box, our x squared goes here, the 14 goes here, and these two in the middle have to add up to the 9. So that's going to be 2x plus 7x. And then on the outside, we're going to have x times x gives us the x squared. And then think, what times x is 7x? Well, that would be 7. And then what times x would give us 2x? Well, that would be 2. So our answer is x plus 7 times x plus 2. and then multiply them back together to check your answer. But just to be sure here, like this is the answer. Those are the factors. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. X times 7 is 7x. 7 times 2 is 14. So we get x squared plus 9x plus 14. So our answer is in the green box. And this was just me checking the work. Okay, on C. Pause the video and try to do this on your own. If the factoring is easier, you pick up on it better when you practice it on your own. So I'm going to find my A value, which is 1, my B value, which is -7, and my C value, which is -30. And then we're going to slap these babies into our box here. Quadratic term goes in the first box, constant term in the last box, and these two in the middle have to add up to the linear term. So I'm looking for, make our A, C, B. A is 1, C is -30, and B is -7. So I'm working this out like how I'm going to work out every single one of these. So -30, I'm looking for numbers that multiply to give me -30, but add to give me -7. Well, since our multiplication gave us a negative number, that means we're going to have one positive number and one negative number. So like 1 times -30, or -1 times 30. Neither one of those are going to add up to -7, so -5 times 6, that's not going to add up to -7. What about -3 times 10? Well, -3 plus 10 would give us +7, so it's not that one. So 3 times -10, so 3 plus -10, that gives us -7, so that's the right one. So those are the numbers we're going to put in our box. 3x and -10x both add up to give us the -7. So you need to fill in your box. You need to do this part first before you start trying to figure out what's on the outside. Okay, so we know x times x gives us x squared. Okay? Then think, what times x would give us -10x? So that would have to be -10. And then what times x would give us 3x? Well, that's going to be 3. And then you can check your answer by looking, is -10 times 3 going to give us -30? It does. So our answer is going to be x minus 10 times x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here, and I want you to work out D and submit a picture of that.